I need to unmute myself. Hey. How y'all doing this morning? How's everybody across the world doing? Hope we had a good night's rest. Afternoon for you all. It is 10:26 here. You can see background is different. I'm not as vibrant on my background. I feel like as we would say back in my age, I feel like a vibe is missing. I'm missing a vibe. I need to get some color. It's way too bland for me, so I'm gonna have to work on that. Way too bland for me, for my liking. I hope you had a good week. I think President's Day is Monday, so I think some people are getting a 3 day vacation, 3 day weekend. I hope you all are doing fine. It was snowing here. I think it's supposed to snow this week too. What's going on, Fred? Sun breeze. Sun breeze. I'm all right. You know, I'm in there. You know, I try to make sure my side profile. Let me check out. Yeah, my side profile. We straight. Down to earth. What's going on, Mama Do? Bill, what's up? Cherie, what's up? And what's up to me? What's up to D? D, what's going on with you in the back? I was gonna hold a clubhouse last night, and then I didn't feel the need to. I didn't feel the need to because I ended up going on Professor Black Ops stream, and we got to talking about subcontracting, government contracting, numbers, work, just things, right? So that's what I ended up doing. So they kind of took that itch away. Well, I hope y'all have been enjoying some of the content. We got a good show coming on at I guess at 2:30. I don't know, depending on what time I get up out of here. Huh? I'll try to get out of here before then. Uh, Sorry for the background noise, but I'm right by a window and they scrubbing ice off the road, so you hear a lot of noise. My apologies for that. All right, so let's get into it because we don't have much time. We took up 30 minutes this morning already. Um, let's go. Thank you. I'm trying to make sure we don't miss a beat. All right, so if you're new to the channel, if you've never been here before, we're Women in Linux. I'm Tam, me, and D's in the background, where we share. Well, we talk about everything. I mean, I don't think it's nothing that we don't talk about except for all the gossip stuff. But y'all drop in the chat the things that we talk about. I'm gonna say what we talk about. But tell me what you tell. Better yet, tell me what you like that we talk about. Drop that in the chat of what you like that we talk about. And I'm gonna do the intro and then I'll read it off after the intro. All right, so we're Women in Linux. You can find us on social media throughout social media at womeninlinux.org, womeninlinux.org, at Women in Linux, including Clubhouse. We need to add that to the page as well too. If you want to connect with us outside of our meetups, outside of our shows on Saturdays, outside of a random show that we may do, well, you can connect with us here on Slack by hitting connect on our page. Drop your email address, download the Slack app, get into our Slack group. People are kind of quiet, but last I checked, hold on, we were at almost 3,000 people. We were at almost 3,000 people last time I checked. And that's pretty good from when we started off with two. Let me see. We are at, yeah, well, almost at 3,000. Well, almost at 3,000 people in our Slack group. And that's 3,000 different people from various backgrounds, from tech to coaching to entrepreneurs to uh, different people in the industry, people who've been on our shows and so forth. So we have different people that come on. If you want to donate with us, you don't have to donate with just money. You can donate with your time by um, hey, you want to come on and give people an idea of what you do every day in tech and share your journey and share your things that you do every day, or your journey into tech, and maybe your journey out of tech. Maybe somebody's retiring. Like, I know some people that are retired, right? I know some people that are retired and moved to other countries, and hey, they just want to, they want to start a new life, and they don't want the daily hustle of working in technology every single day. They just want the daily hustle of I get up, I work my 20 hours for the week, I make my money, and then I go on about my business. So, it's just different people. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, donate with your time. Also, don't forget, you can always donate with your money. Right. And two, if you want to reach out to D, because somebody had asked me, do we do Zelle? Yes, we do. So if this doesn't work for you, we could do Zelle as well. Right. So let me go to meetup.com, because a lot of people ask me about, what do I do in Slack? It's not what you do in Slack, it's how do you communicate in Slack. That's really the value there. But our meetups, we have our meetups of everything that we do. I'm gonna start posting um our when we're set to go live on Clubhouse, because I just randomly spin it up when I feel like talking, like start a room. That's really what I got it for. Sometimes people don't want to come on screen on our second show, so this gives us a way to talk. And then on our Wednesday classes, we don't really have like a lot of time. We have time, but we really don't have a lot of time, because I'm trying to go through the subjects and trying to really get through the material. So we don't really have a lot of time. All right, let's see what everybody wrote. All right. Job and tech news, pathways in tech. You like the current events going on in tech. Yep, 3K is awesome. Tech related and financial literacy. Panel interviewers. Okay. All right. What's going on in the stock market? Starts in such and such. Yeah, and they up and down. That's why I always try to focus in on try to show you the ETFs, because at least with the ETFs, they vary in different markets, right? So you may get a technology ETF, or you may get a ETF that's a mix, right? So that's why I try to focus on ETFs, just to park your money the safe way. Well, we should be doing the options class. It won't be me doing the options class. It'll be someone that I know that was a old stock market guy who did his thing with stocks, right? I you know what, I haven't started studying my Series 65. We just got in um to this apartment, and then I need to create some classes. I got content I got to create for some classes. I actually was talking to somebody yesterday about creating some a sans.org class. So I got that coming up, and so I don't know how I'm gonna fit the Series 65 in. Maybe I'll work with somebody. Maybe I get a study partner, right? And maybe we'll hold each other accountable for maybe an hour or two a week, to get through it and take notes. I need to mind map it out. And let me, because people ask me this all the time about mind maps. um, let me get logged in, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. um, and I actually I have a mind map up here too, right? Right here. All right, so let me show you this right here. So this is a talk that I did at South by Southwest, from art CSA to infrastructure engineer. It needs to be updated, but let me show you a mind map. All right. Well, D ain't got not showing you the screen, so here we go. All right, so from RCSA to infrastructure engineer, this is out there on GitHub. I need to update it, but I'm just giving you an overview, right? And so in here, I talk about training, and this is something I did with BWise. Go check out BWise on LinkedIn. We got together to do like, hey, how do we get people into tech and making six figures? And another one was, how do we get people into tech and we start making seven figures? Like I said, we have been talking about seven figures now for it's 3 years old. So we've been talking about this for 3 years, right? Making six figures in tech was, that was just something people said. I just wanted people to get into tech, but now it's like inflation is up, rents are up, food is up, car rentals is up, everything is up. So, you know, uh, making six figures, I think, is a mute point at this point. Honestly, my personal thought. But in this list here, I go over like Terraform, cloud deployment, the different clouds, and then you can see I've been talking about this for a very long time. Creating wealth, how to get to the bag, sponsorship, mentorship stuff, what to look for, job searching. This is a talk that I did. So what you see here, with tech stocks and jobs and so forth, I've been talking about this for a very long time, right? Um, and there are some slides that go along with this. I even have some training, but let's hop down here to the mind map, and we'll blow this up some. And I actually have the mind map right here. So let me go find it. Right here. So this is a mind map. And so I need to finish this off. It's not complete, but it talks about RTSA. We talk about VMware firewalls, job searching, GitLab. I could add GitHub on here, job opportunities, um, command line fundamentals, advanced topics with Kubernetes, cloud servers, mesh, hybrid cloud, multi-cloud, cluster security, high performance computing, career path, automation engineer, infrastructure engineer, system engineering, creating APIs, security, where security plus, CISSP, hardware security, web security, SE Linux, tech leadership, CTO, developers advocate, tech lead, system architect, and then just the different certifications and so forth. Like I say, I need to go back and finish all this off. I already talk about creating wealth, negotiating salary. I talk about that all the time. Um, Creating wealth as a freelancer, as a corp to corp, or as a co-op. There's a video out there where we did with co-op, automation, RHCSA. I mean, it's not complete, but it's just a really big overview of a brain dump that I have, and I need to go back and finish it off. But it gets you the information, at least gets you started, right? At least gets you started. What's going on, Kelvin? Some breeze, like, I don't know. You come to Women in Linux, you say you don't know where to start, and we have our meetups every Wednesday to talk about just that, right? So on our YouTube channel, um, let me go here. We have a playlist of getting started. Like, even if you look at the Ask Me Anything, um, that'll get you started. The meetup. I mean, like, if you're in the Slack group, we talk about it all the time. Yeah, that visual is public. Um, I put it in the chat. Deacon drop it. I put it in private, and she can add context to it. Cause she always like, you just drop links now, have no context. Oh, all right. Yep. Thank you, Glam. The meetups are every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, man. We um we get busy in the meetups. At least I think I do. So it's not just you come and you learn Linux, right? I talk like this week. I talked about Terraform, the why. Um, I also talked about a couple of other things. Oh, and on this mind map, don't be afraid to do a pull request if you want to change something, or if you want to add some context to some things or something like that. Feel free, right? We can go back and forth and really draw it out. It's in GitHub, All right. So feel free to let me get you the GitHub link. I think I gave D the mind map link, but let me get you the GitHub link. It's 3 years old. I need to update it. I even think the slides are in here from when I did it for South by Southwest. Um, so the slides may have a little bit more context to them. But again, I've been talking about this for a very, very long time. Um, so, you can, do what you need to do with it. As you can see, like I cover a lot in the slides more so than what I do on the on the um, on the mind map. Again, getting into to TOGAF, and there's a certification for TOGAF as well too. Um, and where does I try to talk about where Linux touches from finance, healthcare, and restaurants. Um, get into SRE work, chaos engineer. I get into that as well too. So take a look at the slides. Like this was a talk that I gave. And then break time, and it goes on. I got like yes, 58 slides, right? Where we start talking about Kubernetes in here. We actually set up Kubernetes clusters in the class. In the talk, we deploy applications. Um, it was a 4-hour lecture, right? Um, so I try to bring everything, whatever. Maybe I'll take this one day and do a whole show on this. It needs to be updated, but maybe I'll do a whole show. Mm. Let me know your thoughts. But the information is out there. It's been out there for 3 years. All right. So let's jump into it. Let me make sure I go back. Make sure we'll have no questions. The link for how to attain the 300K. So I don't know which link that is. Yeah, I heard of SageMaker. Engineer cannabis. This how I'm gonna say this. You say SageMaker. What this what I'm gonna say, and then you thank me later. How about that? Go look up. Go to this website. Go to this web page and try this out. Um, Try OctoML TVM. They have an open source project. Um, let me see. How can we get to it? I don't think it's on there. It might be. You may have to search for it. Oh, here it is, right? Try this out. And I'm telling you to try this out for a reason. You'll think you'll you'll thank me later. I can't say, but you'll thank me later. Um you say you want to interview a black freelancer? Okay, so you want me to interview myself? I'm just playing. Before the billions, what's going on? Still learning, and of course you run across the head like, yep. Chaos engineering. Okay, so it's called Gremlin, and they actually have scholarships. They reach out to me all the time. I just don't be having time to attend all this stuff. I don't, right? Um, so you can download this for free, and play with it and get started with it, right? And then they also have um, boot camps, and they was offering boot camps for free um, for this for underrepresented groups. I gotta get back in touch with them. But here's a tutorial that you can start and go through. Then I will go over here on YouTube and I will look up Gremlin, right? Not that Gremlin, Gremlin Chaos Engineering. Let's narrow it down. All right, here's their website. I mean their YouTube channel. And here, right here, 6 months ago, Gremlin Chaos Engineering Practitioner Certification Prep Session. Um, she is have great opportunity. This chick is from Australia, right here. She used to work at Digital Ocean. Um, we were supposed to collab on some stuff, and I just haven't had a chance to collab with her. Like she hadn't had a chance to collab with me. But this is her thing. Check her out. All right. Uh, like on this one, learn why Gremlin built Chaos Engineering, built the Chaos Engineering Practitioner Cert program, explore the value of Gremlin certificate, and so forth. And then the next thing you do, like in true, indeed fashion, or uh, wherever you search at, right? Come in, type in Chaos Engineering, type it in. I hope I spelled that right. 9 times out of 10 is probably they probably fall under SRE, but let's see. They probably fall under SRE. All right, here we go. Director of Chaos Engineering at Canonical. Yeah, in this on that on my slide that I had, this gets into the whole intuition engineering. Um, but again, um, just I just did an explore of jobs. It's doing by location. My you know you don't have to look at my location, but just um, anywhere. All right. So a chaos engineer, consultant. Right. This was posted 9 days ago, and this is why I say it kind of falls under SRE. SRE DevOps infrastructure as IaaS, SaaS, software development. You'd probably be doing infrastructure. It's called understanding Linux and Linux and container experience. I'm gonna blow it up some. Kubernetes OpenShift, right? So chaos engineers, um, um, HubSpot, SoftServe, Visa, AT&T, Datadog, Match Group, the stuff for a match, Salesforce, like it's everywhere, right? So it's not something that is like a one and done. It's across multiple boards, right? So you could do DevSecOps and then specialize in chaos engineering and resilience, and that be your thing, right? To make sure applications is up, make sure that certain behind the scene things are up. So just another different look when we start talking about it. Um, Usually they have to I think they have to post the amount for the job if you're working in Colorado. um so this one with Canonical, global travel 6 to 8 weeks for internal and external events. um you don't have you don't have the thing up the release of the salary range. That's what I was looking for. Do. Y'all don't see it. I'm going through here and I don't see it. But at least you learned something new today. Chaos engineering. And again, those slides are out there. All right. So back to it. Yep. You gotta go through and read Code World. What's going on? Um, yeah, you gotta binge watch. Yeah, so I mean, this kind of get me off my topic, but I do have to combine two things at one time. What time is it? 11 here, so what's that? 1 your time? Decisions. Okay, so I'm gonna hold off on that because they're ears, but let me do this stuff first, and then we'll get into that. All right, timeline. The Federal Reserve trading scandal. You all heard. I think you heard yesterday that about the trading scandal. I don't know if you've been keeping up with that. And now they're saying federal officials can't trade right anymore. Right. Let me go here. Federal officials not able to trade. Right? Yep. Yep. Under the new rules, Fed officials may not invest in individual stocks, bonds, or cryptocurrencies and are limited to diversified investments such as mutual funds. They must provide 45-day notice of any trade. I don't know how you do that. And trade and secure approval of such trades. Right? So it was a big scandal. Like, again, I know I've shown you Senator tracking trade. All right. Yeah, Senate trading, right? It's Senate stock watcher. I showed you that, right? And they also got one for the House too, where they come in and you can follow your people. Summary by senator, right? Pick one and look at their trades. And that's how a lot of people been doing their trades as well too. Um, Pelosi, she have made plenty, right? So just a FYI on that. If y'all are still using that to follow, they can't really do that no more. So what I did want to talk about um, is some different platforms like that I've discovered. I haven't invested in them. This is not financial information, but these are just things I found. Right? I don't know if you ever heard of this fractional investment now available in these 8 rental properties. Does anybody use Arrived.com? Anybody use Arrived? I've heard of Arrived, right? So you can invest in rental properties at a minimum of $100. I haven't tried it. I haven't played with it yet. I may play with it this evening just to see what I get. Good. I'm glad you installed it at your TVM. So um, the this particular one. Let me go back to what I was reading. So let's close that one. It says here, let me blow it up so you can see it. The real estate investment platform Arrived Homes just added 8 new offerings to its platform today, allowing retail investors to buy shares in a rental property with a minimum investment of $100. The 8 new properties are located in Georgia, Arizona, Alabama, and Colorado. Each of the properties are available for investment at $10 per share with a minimum of $100, and then they give the monthly rents on these different properties, right? And then of course you can then pick how much you want to invest in them. And it says Arrive Homes finds and acquires residential rental properties, then offers shares of these properties to investors through its online platform. Um, yeah, I hadn't heard of Arrived either. Investor can browse available properties and invest in whichever ones they choose. The company handles the management of the properties while investors collect their shares of the rental income and wait for the property to appreciate in value over time. After a target hold period of 5 to 7 years, so it's slow money, right? Arrive Home sells the property and distributes the equity to each investor according to the number of shares they own. Assuming the property increases in value, the investors share in the profits from the sale. right? So, and I don't know if they limit the number of people that can invest, right? So let's click on one. I'll probably have to log in. Let's go with let's go with let's go with McDonald. Yes, I'm gonna have to log in. Let's go learn more. Oh, learn more. I still gotta log in. It won't let me do that. Let me see if they got something on their web page where we can talk or we can walk through some stuff. All right. Consistent passive income, kick back and relax. See, invest anywhere from 100,000, I mean from $100 to 20,000 per house. Um, it's open to U.S. citizens and residents above the age of 18. Individuals do not need to be accredited investors. You know how I feel about accredited investors. Ow. So then this gets into another question. How did they come up with this, right? How did they come up with this one? If you don't need to be an accredited investor, and I talked about this before, but I have an idea how they're structured, because if I invest my money and I'm getting a piece of this, um there's some entity they had to set up in order for me to do that. And I don't know, like I say, if there are limits on this or whatnot. How often is the rental income distributed? Our current policy to distribute rental income on a quarterly basis to the property investors. Separately, once a month, investors are sent monthly statements with information about the property performance. Will I have responsibility for manager? No, Arrive takes care of everything, including the selection, the purchase, the renovation of the home, as well as finding tenants and dealing with maintenance requests. As an investor, you only need to make an investment and earn your share. What is the minimum initial investment? It says the minimum is $100 for each property. So if you got $500, go pick a property and go from there. And then they go over. Okay, look. So look here. They got 255 people invested in this. And then it's 86% fully funded, right? Now, I guess my question would be later on, would they be moving into, um, would they be moving into, um, like duplexes? Do they already have duplexes? I haven't logged in, so I don't know. So one of y'all can log in and find out. I'll do some more investigation, but I just wanted to see, had anybody heard of it, and then what the general idea was behind it, and then I'll log in and I'll come back and actually get into it. Yeah, yeah. Sound reasonable. What's going on, Michael Hope? You said Code World. You said for investments like this, do you know if the renter is affected in any way? When you say the renter is affected, what do you mean? What do you mean? Because it's hard. I mean, so they own the house, right? So you making me go into this. Not you, but just in my head. Not your fault. Not at all. Don't feel that way. All right. So me mind map. These are my thoughts, right? So we're gonna do this in a mind map situation. All right. So let's do this in a mind map. We're gonna say arrived. All right. And then from arrived, we're gonna say, okay, my first thought is what type of entity did they set up? Minimum number, I'll do hashtag, of investors per property, right? And then when I start looking at, let's just do a property, right? This is how I would look at it. What area? Um, Look at economic development plan for that area. Um, do like do walk the street, walk the area, and you can do this on Google Earth. And I can blow this up some too. It looks a little small on the screen. It's a little better right there, right? Let me get this one out the way. Um, uh, I would use Rentometer to find rents in the area. I would use PropStream to see how much equity um, is in the house and surrounding houses, nosy like that, right? Because there may be something I want to invest in, right? Um, and then they say, let's go over here. They hold for 5 to 7 years. So if they hold for 5 to 7 years and they cash out, let's say a house is what 200, let's say a house is 300,000, and hold it for 5 to 7 years, it appreciates over time. My first question that I have is, um, how much do they keep, right? Um, and what else would I be thinking about? Oh, from them, I'll be asking um what type of properties do they properties do they invest in? So we know for a fact that they do um, single family homes, but do they do duplexes and so forth, right? But these are just my when I say what type of entity are they setting up here? So you don't need to be an accredited investor to invest, but I would be wondering, like, they're not a small office. Well, they could. I don't know if they're a family office. If then that gets into word. Hold on, let me make sure I say that right. No, a multi-family office, right? And then the reason why I say the number of investors, because the number of investors is going to affect my return, right? So these are just my initial thoughts. Um, this is already saved, and I can share this out with y'all if y'all want to drop in your own comments to this. Um, and I'll put this in the chat, and you can go update this, and I'll come back to it at the end of the show, and you all, let's see if anybody added any thoughts to it. These are just like I say, my initial thoughts um, to it. But I open it up where you all can share your thoughts on arrived, and go from there. Right? Those are just my initial thoughts. I saw some comments as well too. Um, Thank you, Peter. What's going on, Intentional Millionaire? Is this similar to Fundrise? Mm, no, because oh, no, so far. Let me say it that way, because I haven't seen where they invest into apartments. Like Fundrise buys apartment buildings and subdivisions and so forth. Um, let me let me pull this up. They look like they own like single family homes. All right. So I'm on Fundrise. So this is what I got sent in my email. Investment in new apartments in LA pays back successfully. The project generated annualized return of roughly 9.4% supporting quarterly dividends for West Coast e-REIT investors. And then they go into more about the project and stuff right here. It was a fixed income of size of 3 million, right? So again, they do more apartments. I haven't seen them doing houses. And if I was Zillow, this is the model I would have taken instead of selling off all those houses and laying off people. I probably would have taken this model as well too, right? All right, but you had the link. Let me know. Here's another one that I found this week, and I've been getting these newsletters for a very long time, and these are some of the things you know haven't gone over. So here, I thought this was actually interesting as well too. Bringing blockchain to the vineyard. This startup is allowing individuals to buy their own vines. So instead of you going and investing into a vineyard as the totality, you can buy a vine. So let's look at this. It's called Liquid Vine Yards. Intends to offer wine lovers the chance to have their own wine via an exclusive 5G blockchain technology that uses smart contracts. The startup is currently raising capital through an equity crowdfunding campaign on Net Capital. And so let's click on this right here. All right. The Liquid Vine Yard aims to make it possible for anyone to experience the pleasure of owning their own vines. Customer can choose from a rapidly growing inventory of vineyards from various regions, varietal selections. There should be a variety of selections by purchasing digital rights to vines via the Liquid Vineyard blockchain market. Right. So you can own your own vine for your own wine. That's right. Right. The LV handles the paperwork and the digital rights. So all right. So we're doing tech stocks. I just want to get through these because what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop over to Arrive and we're gonna look at their tech platform and we're gonna hop over to this startup here and look at their tech platform. They're already talking about smart contracts and blockchain, so we kind of can guess what they're doing. We can always probably guess they're doing something in the cloud, something with Linux, probably something with Rust, right? We can get into those things, right? All right. So the winemaker deals with winemaking. Liquid Vineyards doesn't produce anything, dropping the industrial risk to zero. Unlike regular wineries who get funding to expand while maintaining ownership of their farmland, customers can buy digital rights to what LV Vineyards produce. RFID bands on each vine and digital labels on each bottle communicate with the startup's patent digital rights NFT patent pending tracking system. Because the vines and the bottles are securely identified and monitored with 5G seals and labels, buyers can track their bottles worldwide through the LV app. Each bottle is one of a kind, and consumers can opt for a yearly wine delivery or wait for the annual wine appreciation return on investment. The buyer owns the product for 3 to 30 years, so a minimum of three, right? And those who want to exchange a crop on the vines for another or recoup their investment can trade digital rights on Liquid Vineyards Exchange. Furthermore, the digital rights can be tokenized in the future, and specific wines can be connected to NFTs. So again, we get back into that NFT that we saw with the house, right? And we saw that with the house, and we were saying like, how many times can you make money on that house because it had a mural inside that could be treated as an NFT, right? So let's get into it. It says the three-tier distribution system. The price of each bottle of wine will increase by four once it reaches a buyer's home in order to pay all the players involved. Now, how many players are involved, right? The process allows LV to charge 100% markup on wine produced while still making profit. Speaking of 100% markup, um, Let me show you this. This was sent to me. Let me see. Is it on? Am I on this one? Please let me be on it. Um, let me see. Yeah, I am. All right. I want to show you this. Speaking of 100% markup. All right. Let me blow this up. All right. Somebody sent me this because we were talking about cars. We're talking about markup on cars and markup on vines. So here, manufacturer for a GT, 340,000, 345,245 dollars. Right, $340,245. Right, and the GT Black Series markup adjustment is 350,000. For a total, the dealer is asking $690,000 for it. So basically 691. Plus, you probably gonna either A, you're gonna pay cash, or you're gonna get some type of jumbo loan or something like that. And it's on a house. It's on a house. I mean, this is not on a house. It's on a car. This is like buying a house, right? For 690,000. We just wanted to show you that since we're talking markups. All right. So, um, Liquid Vineyards has filed for its first patent application for its innovative NFT based digital rights management system. In the near future, the company aims to build a solid and diverse intellectual property to support its business. LV plans to file a patent applications covering upgrades to its technology. And we just talked about patents earlier this week. Um, to its technology and so forth. The minimum investment for every crowdfunding campaign is $100. All right. So let's talk about this from before we click on the link. NFT, blockchain. Um, I hear compliance because you're taking my money again. Like I say before, my money is live somewhere else. You're gonna move money electronically out of my account into something here. So that exchange needs, there's going to be some federal exchange there, right? So from a technology perspective, I hear compliance. From a security perspective, I hear we got to adhere or have some type of compliance rules and policies or something like that. I hear some big data. We hear some NFTs. I hear some cloud, but I don't know. I hadn't looked at their website yet. Um, but we can go over here and check it out. All right. Um, they're called Liquid Vineyards. All right. Algo grind. We talked about this, right? All right. So let's go. Let's scroll. You see, they don't have anything on here where I see jobs. I know they hiring though. Let's see. Let's see. They on LinkedIn. All right. Okay. Here we go. Liquid Vines has chosen to build on its exchange on Algorand technology for its speed and scalability, and most importantly, for its environmental friendly approach. Digital asset creation and transactions on Algorand result in magnitudes less than CO2 emissions than other blockchains, with initial analysis demonstrating around 2 million times less. The technology is computational lightweight to begin with, and any remaining energy usage is offset through the purchase of carbon credits via climate trade. Carbon credits via climate trade. This just keeps going, right? Climate trade. Okay, here we go. Climate trade. Offset by start by offsetting. They have an API, um, marketplace, blockchain technology to offset carbon full footprint fully traceable. Let me hop down here. They have just an API. I don't see the secure payment via PayPal. Blah blah blah. So I guess you just pay for it. Let me see. Do they have anything under contact? I'm curious. Washington, Valencia. I have general information. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a developer. Let's say I'm an entrepreneur. I guess you gotta leave your comments and go from there. I don't see. I wonder who's helped maintaining the API and who's making sure it's secure. Right. That's why I was looking at that. Stay tuned. 5G. They're doing net capital, but check them out. I'll drop this link on their LinkedIn. You may be interested in them. Maybe some of you may want to invest. I don't know. Again, it's not financial advice. I'm just bringing you what I find out there. All right, and then the other one is Arrived. What was it? Arrived Homes. Right here. I said right here. Arrived Homes. Let me see. Did they have any type of jobs? Seen things. So let's go here. Arrived Homes jobs. Easy to invest. Let me see. Arrive Breezy HR. I don't know what it is, but I'll put it open in a tab. Okay. Yeah, come work with us. You open it. All right. Oh, they have perks. Um, Perks include comprehensive benefits, equity, Arrive property shares, so you can start building your passive income. Asset manager, a content marketing manager, a FPA, a finance director, growth marketing manager, a staff accountant, and a senior product manager. Those are the jobs that they got open now. Asset manager, let's go. Look, somebody may be interested in this from not just a technical standpoint, but let's look at it. Our asset manager is critical to success of our mission. The heart of our business is operating real estate assets with that's no small task. You must be responsible for successfully managing the acquisition of the real estate we have under contract, boarding them onto our platform and managing their entire life cycle as cash producing asset. Operating real estate is a very dynamic process that requires logic, business acumen, and ingenuity. Today, we are acquiring 50 to 100 homes per quarter. So notice they said homes. It looks like they're only working with homes, whereas Sunrise works with apartments. All right. But we have big plans to scale our business across the entire country and operate 10 to even hundreds of thousands of homes. You will help us build a roadmap and create scalable process that support the management of an intricate network of assets worth billions of dollars. So when you look at this Arrived Homes, I don't look at them as a startup. How are y'all viewing them? Property management, um, maybe even maybe a real estate company, right? Here's how you would contribute. Work with our broker network and closing agents to ensure all paperwork for the purchase, acquisition, I mean, property purchase transaction is getting completed timely and accurately. Onboard newly acquired assets into our system. Prepare assets for leasing by working closely with vendors. Analyze the competitive landscape of real estate markets. Ensure third party property management is appropriately marketing the homes, collecting rent, maintaining them, holistically being a good steward. Do they put these on Airbnb? Are these on Airbnb? Let me put that on there. Are these on Airbnb? B&B, um, VRBO. Um, are they doing corporate? Are they doing corporate rentals? Right. No, that's not what I want. I want company. Oh man, I messed it up. Um, corporate rentals. What I should do is this. Rentals. And then do this. Mm-mm. This should come off of this. There we go. And this should come off of this. Right. Oops. It's attached. There we go. That's what it should look like. Climate trade. Have to get back into that. All right. One arrived. All right. And developer workflow automation ownership. Here's what we're looking for: ownership, blah, blah, blah. When arrive, cultural growth, benefits. All right. Benefits, they offer a competitive salary, equity compensation, unlimited PTO to allow our team to take time away, and employer sponsor health, dental, and vision plans. Perks. Every arrived employee gets monthly cash bonus to invest in arrived properties so they can start building passive income. We only ask that you don't quit your job and leave us high and dry when you're swimming in the dollars. Inclusion in the location. Arrived is a first remote company headquartered in Washington State, within Seattle. Right? So some of y'all may want to apply for this. Some of y'all may want to apply for this. Right? And those arrived. I'll drop the link, and Dee can do her thing. Drop a one in the comments if you like what you hear so far. Make sure we're all on the same page. What time is it? Oh, I got. Mm, okay, I got some time. All right, so maybe you don't like that one, right? Maybe you like this one. How to invest in farmland. There's different farmlands to invest in. Again, you can go buy lands. Thanks, Brown Foxy. Maybe you like maybe you don't like wine. Maybe you want to invest in farmland. All right, so there's farmlands. Okay, acre trader, but they're expensive. I ain't gonna lie. I started to invest in them. They're expensive. Right? Tip one for direct investors: direct purchase of farmland to rent brings the highest returns. I know some people who are in Virginia in the Hampton Roads area, and they own 500 acres. It's been handed down for them forever. And they rent their land out to the school, which the school uses it for. Well, they rent 500 acres out, not 500. They rent 250 acres out to the school, and the school uses it for uh, doing any type of research and also horseback riding and raising animals as well too for the school for the colleges there. So that's just another way. But again, you can lease this out. Again, like they say, you can do land conversion, you can do a sell lease back, you can grow depending on where you're at. You can grow trees, you can grow peanuts and stuff. Again, you still need workers and so forth and so on. Here's another one: buy lease. You have an opportunity for high returns if you buy the farmland with no tenant, and as long as you can find somebody to lease it. There are some people that come and lease land depending on where the land is at for throwing up a billboard, or you may get into a lease where you're saying, "Hey, I got some solar panels. We're going to lease this out to you for the next 30 years, and you'll pay us, a monthly stipend." However, you do that. Communal investors. If you want to invest passively into farmland with other investors, you can invest through a real estate trust or REIT with specialization in farm. Currently, Gladstone Land Operation LAND. We'll go look them up in a minute, and Farmland Partners FPI. All right, Farmland Partners, the largest publicly traded U.S. farmland REIT. FPI manages more than 1 billion in assets featuring 150,000 acres in 17 states. The company leases to more than 100 tenants with a diversified portfolio of crops. Gladstone Land Corporation land manages 111 farms in 10 states with a specialty in health foods. Its farms are evaluated at 890 million and comprise of 86,000 total acres. So now let's go over here to Yahoo Finance and let's go look these up. Um, and the first one was LAND. I remember that. Yeah, thanks. You got to get from me. LAND. Gladstone Land Corporation. Let's see how they've been performing. You know, everything has been down. Well, we got a little spike here in the 6 months. Okay, it looks like they only been around. Well, it don't look like they've been around over a year. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see. Well, no, they've been around since 2013, right? 2013. So this is what it looks like at a max. Um, Holders. Okay, held by institutions. Top institutional holders: Vanguard, BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Geo Capital, State Street Corporation, and so forth. Mutual fund holders. There you go. Right. So you can invest in them, or you can probably go to one of these companies and find some type of REIT on their company on their site that holds these. If you don't want to invest in the individual stock, all right. It's the other one, FPI. Okay, it's FPI. Farmland Partners. Um, so over a year, 5 year, like look like they only been around since 2017. They new to the game. FBI is new to the game. We're gonna look at their holders. BlackRock, Vanguard. You're never not gonna see BlackRock. They're on the iShares Russell 2000. Remember we talked about the Russell 2000, right? We talked about now. I should bring that back up. Should bring that back up. All right. So that was for we talked about two types of the investors: the direct investors, the communal investors, and now for the passive investors. So the passive investors, they have different type of platforms, right? So here's Farm Together with a minimum investment of $10,000. 1% of your initial investment, the fees are 1% of your initial investment, 1% management fees. H Trader, $10,000 as a minimum. Harvest Harvest Returns has a minimum investment of $5,000, and best for investing in sustainable farms at $100. If you're looking to invest in human scale farms that would have trouble getting funding from traditional sources, Stewart Farm is your platform. The minimum investment is tiny, and you can enjoy a closer relationship with the farms you choose. 1% annual on the fee, and then they got another one. Oh, they got a couple more. Farmland LP, it varies according to them. They said is they manage 160 million in assets across two funds, with across two funds with hundreds of investors. The best for agricultural operations is Farm Fund R with a minimum investment of $10,000. Now, out of all these platforms, we can go look up jobs. on these platforms, right? And see what their jobs are. But I don't have time this morning to do it. I'm gonna drop the link, and D can, um, if you're interested, D can post that link for you. Let me go check the comments. I haven't been reading the comments. My bad. Uh, I don't know if it give you mineral rights. What's going on, Wally? Um, you want to invest in land and grow fruits and trees. You may want to look at the one that's sustainable or healthy. Yeah, Vanguard is good for stocks. All right, so let's keep going. All right, let's see what time. Okay, yeah, that's time. All right, real estate investment. All right, so here we start talking about active and passive real estate investing. All right, and let me drop down here because I want to get into ways to start investing in real estate. All right, so you make your $200,000 in tech. You're able to pay your bills, and remember now, you can make your $200,000 in tech a couple of ways. You can make 100 at one job. You can make 100 at another job. You can make 150 at one job. You can make 50 at another job, or you can have just one job. Um, and when I say you need to be making this, again, we get back into our thing. We already know accredited investors. And it's funny, I've been talking about accredited investors and getting to 200,000. Now I hear everybody online talking about you need to be at 275 or 300,000, this, that, and that. No one was talking about this. Now you're all on me. Mike Jones. All right, so let's go look up accredited investor, Investopedia. Again, you don't have to, it's more than one way to become accredited investors, right? More than one way to become accredited investors, right? More than one way. All right, how to become an accredited investor, right? I'm gonna pull this up for you again. Go back and reference this, right? All right, so to become an accredited investor, why? Accredited investors are able to invest money directly into a lucrative world of private equity, private placements, hedge funds, venture capital, and equity crowdfunding. However, the requirements of who can and who cannot be an accredited investor can take part in these opportunities are determined by the SEC. There's a common misconception that a process exists for an individual to become an accredited investor. No government agency or independent body reviews an investor's credentials, and no certification exam or piece of paper exists that states a person has to become an accredited investor. Instead, the company that issues unregistered securities determine a potential investor status by conducting diligence prior to the sale. The article breaks down the requirements to become an accredited investor, how to determine if you qualify, and screening process completed by investment managers to verify accredited investor status. Right? An accredited investor is one who meets certain criteria regarding income, net worth, and qualifications. They are wealthy individuals who allow access to invest that many people are not allowed to invest in. The burden of proving an individual is an accredited investor falls on the investment vehicle rather than the investor. So the investment vehicle that we're talking about, like I said before, if I got together, I get with people and I say, hey, I want to invest in this farm over here. It's worth 600,000. I'm looking for 10 people to get in and so forth. And let me state this. I'm gonna do not a reaction because some people would come back and say, well, why don't you just set up a syndication? And so I've been looking and doing research on syndications versus a fund. And there is some differences in the syndication and the fund. And with the syndication, there's a little bit more paperwork and it's a little bit more accountability on that. So most people are looking at setting up funds, but I'm going to do a talk on that, syndication versus a fund, right? The burden of proof. Oh yeah, we did that. Pros of being an accredited investor include access to unique and restricted investments, high returns, and increased diversification. Cons of being an accredited investor include high risk, high minimum investment amounts, high fees, illiquidity, 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 liquidity. Yes, I'm messing that all up. Other investments. Many countries have accredited investor class that has various income, net worth, and investing and legal requirements. Okay, who is an accredited investor? A natural person. I don't know when they say a natural person is. What does that mean? Because they say a natural person. What is a natural person? I don't know. Right? A natural person with income exceeding 200,000 in each of the two most recent years, or joint income with a spouse exceeding 300,000 for those years, and are reasonable and a reasonable expectation of the same level of level in the current year, right? A natural person has an individual wealth or joint net worth, net worth, or a joint net worth with a person's spouse that exceeds $1 million at the time of the purchase, excluding the value of the primary home residence of such person. So you two together can have $1 million, or just be $1 million by yourself. Right? And it says the last passage of the second bullet is critical because it is important change that was introduced in 2010 by the Dodd-Frank Act. Prior to financial law passage, the primary resident was not excluded from determining a person's net worth. Anyone who held accredited investments prior to this passage was exempted into this law. So you got in where you fit in. It says in 2020, it's estimated there are 13 million, but let's round it up to 14 million investor households in the U.S. This represents approximately 10.6% of the U.S. household. This number accounted for 73.3 trillion in wealth. I wonder how many of that was us. I'm just curious. All right, I'm just curious. I'm gonna click on that because it gave me a source here. Can I click on it? Uh, it's not. It's probably down at the bottom of the page. That's fine. All right. All right. Rule 501 has provisions for corporations, partnerships, charitable organizations, and trusts, in addition to company directors, equity owners, and financial institutions. Blah 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 blah. Right. Mm-mm. All right. Individuals holding a Series 7, the Series 65, or the Series 82 licenses are now included as accredited investors. So those that don't want to do any of those other things, you can go get your Series 7, you can get your Series 65 or your Series 82 license, take the exam, pass the exam, and you are now an accredited investor, excuse me, right? The SEC can add certifications and designations going forward to include, as well as encouraging the public to submit proposals for other certificates, designations, or credential considerations, or credentials to be considered. It says employees who are considered knowledgeable employees of a private fund are now considered to be accredited investors. So if I had a private fund and I had an employee, and maybe that employee was working with me on deals and so forth and so on, that person, because remember, I can bring the person in as long as I'm vetting the person, right? It's no nothing you go out there and say, hey, I got a sheet of paper saying I'm an accredited investor, unless you do your license, right? The SEC has also broadened its definition to include many other entities, such as Indian tribes, governmental bodies, funds, entities organized under the law of foreign countries that own investments as Rule 2A 51-1 under the Investment Company Act. in excess of 5 billion and was not formed in the specific person investing in securities. And this goes on. I won't spend more time on this, but I just wanted you to know, be aware of this and why we're talking about this and why I'm going down this route. Individuals who have earned 200,000 or more income over the past 200 years, and if you have a spouse, 300,000. It says an individual with a net worth of a million or more minus the value of their primary residence. The only situation where the primary home can weigh on the net worth is when the investor has either an underwater mortgage, or a balance on a home, or a balance on a home equity line of credit. And then they go over the blank sheet right here of how to determine um, if you're an accredited investor or not, right? And they have a whole worksheet here for you to walk through to determine whether you're not. And you should do this. You should do this so you know where your net worth is at, right? Um, what you have in your 401k, your IRAs. And I think Intentional Millionaire was mentioning this morning. Your HSA, where you can put up to $7,300 in there, right? Just another way to protect yourself on your money for tax shelters and so forth. Your whole life insurance policy. Um, you may have some cash sitting over there. And shout out to all those that got their loans paid for. I paid my loan off a long time ago. Prior to 2014, I paid my loan off. Wish I would have known they was in the works of doing this, but I still would have been paying on that loan. I still would have been mad. So I'll give you this link, so you all can look at it and do your own. If you're, especially if you're married, I think this is a good way to just say like, hey, where you're at, right? Um, as far as it's what your worth is, right, and how do you want to protect yourself and so forth, right? All right. So that was accredited investor. We talked about the real estate. Let me go. Did I finish that off? Yeah. So buying a rental property, and then they got the pros and cons of it. Then they go into the REITs here, which we talked about this morning, and rental property we talked about this morning. They go into pros and cons of that, and real estate crowdfunding. And here's where this is what I wanted to show. Because some people ask about different places that do crowdfunding, right? So you have ground floor, you have Diversifund, you have Yield Street, and you have Crowd Street. And you can see right here the minimum investment: $10 for ground floor, 500 for Diversifund. Yield Street is $500, and then Crowd Street is 25. And they automatically tell you best for accredited investors right here. And ground floor is non-accredited investors, and that's what I think that's the entity is set up for. That we looked at Arrive Homes is non-accredited investors, and there are some pros and cons to that too. So, non-accredited investor, right? There was a non-accredited investor is an investor who does not meet the income or the net worth set by the SEC. The concept of non-accredited investor comes from the various SEC acts and regulations that refer to accredited investors. And Investopedia has a little bit more on non-accredited investors here. I won't go on all into this like I did with the other one, but you can look at this for yourself and read on it, and then maybe we'll come back to it another day and to talk about it, but at least you have that information, right? So, and then they go into the pros and cons, and then they talk about how to invest into real estate, how to pick a specific real estate investing strategy. There's so many different strategies for investing: secure financing, shop for investments, execute the tax and real estate. We didn't even get into 1031 exchanges and um, different types of properties. That's a whole show by itself. And then here's the thoughts, and then how to accelerate your wealth, right? And again, they got arrived homes down here. So I think I dropped this link. I'm gonna make sure I did it again. I think I did. Um, and if you're interested, you can go check it out. See what your thoughts are, how you like it, what you don't like about it. Click right into the comments here. You sure we'll have no comments. I see you're not your natural person. I saw that there. Um, all right. I have I have a few more things. I'm gonna get through this real quick. I'm gonna rush real quick. All right. Trading TV secures 8 million in round led by Lightspeed Ventures. Has anybody ever heard of Trading TV? All right, Trading.tv. Trading.tv is capitalizing on both the creator economy and the retail trading revolution. We're the world's first social live stream and immersive chat platform for traders and financial content creators. Founder and CEO Tobias uh, Heaslip tells all. All right. So trading.tv. Right? Here's the site. The future of trading is streaming now. You can get it on the you can get the app. They have chat and trade, right? But I want to know about their jobs. What do you think? I'm just gonna put trading TV jobs, not jobs, jobs, and I didn't put TV. See, they got LinkedIn. Oh, look, they said they had over 1,000 jobs. Let me go back. Okay, so the Pokemon Company International is it falling on the Pokemon? Yeah, trading.tv in the United States. That's what this is. Infrastructure security engineer. They want you on site in Bellevue. A DevOps engineer. Yeah, trading.tv in the United States. Make sure I'm right. Let's see. Let's see. Mm-mm-mm. That may be it. Here's that information on countries. On Crunchbase, they're based out of New York. 11 to 50 people. They're venture. They're private. They only got six investors. Who are their investors? The investors are Navy Capital, El Caterton, QVC, Activent Capital, Tribe Capital, Lightspeed Partners. And then you wonder how much they invested, right? How much did they invest into them? Donald Alexander is their social media manager. There's Tobias right there. Let's go look up Tobias. We're hiring. Let's message him. Oh, You suck. We'll follow. We'll do more. We'll connect. Let me do it. Let me see. No, I can't do anything. I tried to message you. You see that? Let's try to get him on the show. Let's try to get him on the show, y'all. Let's see. They raised 8 million. That's February the 17th. Let's see. I'll message him to see if we can get him on the show. On site, you say what? Curious, when you are on site, does that mean some components of the job requires working physically on networking hardware in a cold room? Nah, they may just want you on site because they may just want to see you. Linux virtual machines, it depends on what you have. If you have a VMware or if you got, I mean, not VMware, if you got, yeah, well, it depends on what you got. If you're a Windows box or a Linux box and you're using VMware or virtual box or some other source, or some other hypervisor. But this is interesting. What do y'all think about? Drop in the comments and what you think about trading.tv. And I'm not sure, about Tobias Francis. I don't know. Trading TV raises 8 million to be Robinhood dash Twitch combo. Growing up poor in Naples, Florida. CEO founder Tobias Hetzlip, I don't know where Francis is coming from, made it to college through an ice hockey scholarship. As he puts it, begged his way into Goldman Sachs. His childhood left him with passion for pushing an underserved to grow their wealth in the stock market. Trading.tv was founded with a goal of financial education. Let's get him on the show. Let's see if he'll come. So I'm gonna keep reaching out. I'm gonna get him to follow me, and let's see what happens. Mm, let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get him on here. All right, trading.tv. All right, so let me see. Let me go back to my notes. Oh yeah, they say they're hiring, but I didn't see no jobs. So let's get them on the show and see if we can find the jobs. I think it fell on that Pokemon, but I'm not sure. I don't want to send you down that rabbit hole, and that's not it. He said they're hiring. And when I hit contact info, it takes me there. It takes me to his LinkedIn profile. I tried to connect up with him, right? We get some background on him. He's a director of technology over at Barclays. He was an equity trader. So he worked at equity trader. He was a summer analyst from June to August, and then he left and went to Morgan Stanley. He came from SMU. Background research done. Let's get him on the show. Let's talk. All right, Mastercard launches a new consulting service, including crypto adoption strategies. So, payment processor behemoth Mastercard is launching a new consulting service dedicated to open banking, open data, crypto and digital currencies, environment and social governance. What happened in Tuesday's announcement? Mastercard wrote that it is expanding its consulting business with services that include an explicit dedication to cryptocurrency space. Raj, I guess Shadari, The firm's data and services president promised the company will continue to help its customers navigate the financial landscape as it evolves. So consulting. So we talked about this, right? We keep seeing these expansion of these hedge funds, master and all of them, and we see the information with the cryptocurrency. We saw JP Chase Morgan expanding 1,500 wealth management employees, 1,500 of them. Again, California, Texas, in the two places in Texas, Austin and Fort Worth, and then Florida. And those management wealth employees are managing funds, or I guess I should say, people who have access to wealth of 10 million and more. So when we start seeing stuff like this for crypto, we also need to start looking at more of the JP Chase Morgan and all of them expanding their portfolio, to which JP Chase Morgan did come out with something. I don't even have it. I don't even know why I don't even have it on my list. I don't even know why I don't even have it on my list. Did y'all see that this week? Oh, did y'all see that? It came out this week. Let me see. News. JP Judgment calls for regulatory quick fix for crypto hedging. No, it was another announcement that JP Chase Morgan came out with. I may have it on one of my other ones. Yeah, here it is. That's what I want. The first major bank to enter the metaverse is JP Morgan. They're going into the metaverse. Going into the metaverse. Yeah, that's right. Y'all get these likes up. Come on now. What are my likes looking like? I don't even know. We got 35 likes. Okay, cool. I'm cool. I'm with that. I'm making sure we know. But first major bank to enter the metaverse is JP Morgan. Now, what I haven't seen yet, I guess I have. No, let me know if I'm wrong. Do we see I know we got sandbox, we got decentralized land, but do we have crowdfunding for the metaverse yet for land? Is there a company out there doing that? Let me know. I may be wrong, right? I know you can buy land, but is there anybody crowdfunding? Like, can I go to a platform like an Ace Trader or a Fundrise or something like that and buy and put in $100, and I just have a share my $100 piece, whatever that is of that land? Like, what is that? Is that a blade of grass? I don't know, but give me my blade of grass. I don't know. All right. But I want to make sure I got that one out. All right. So yeah. So Mastercard here is launching a new consulting service, including crypto adoption strategies. Right. So they're probably working with their clients, for this as well too. All right. So I want to make sure I got that out. Um, to David Dindy. Y'all know who he is? Y'all know who David Dindy is? DIN. Y'all know who this guy is? Do y'all know him? All right. How Atomic Invest APIs make wealth building accessible to the world. All right. So, how do you make wealth building accessible to every human being? The team Atomic Invest, a fintech that just raised 25 million in a Series A, and named the best new fintech by this Lended Fintech, may have the answer. Benzinga spoke to the firm's co-founder and CEO David Dindy to learn more. Right? He's from Kenya. He left for Austria and later the U.S. to pursue his collegiate education. He came out of Stanford. Um, Not many Kenyans have the opportunities that I have. Not even many Americans have the same opportunity to realize their potential in the way that I have been. Fast forward, he has a few peers. He and a few peers were at a point of reflecting on frictions In the global financial services ecosystem. Offering investing is complicated by fact and is highly regulated. Activity is also complicated by fact that from an operational perspective, it requires a significant bill and it may have responsibilities like taking a fiduciary obligation and building portfolios. And you can go in to look at him. I don't have much time left, but I won't. I'm actually out of time. I actually wanted you to get his information right, and go look him up and the APIs he has for investment. The other stuff that I had left, and I'll talk about it on the next show, is Intel Space, Energy Vault, um, and a couple of mergers. But I don't want. I know we got to stop, and so forth, right? But we'll be back in like 30 minutes. We got a guest coming on. I'm probably gonna open up with that guest real quickly. I'll probably open up with the stuff that I got to finish off here. I do have stuff for the other show. I think he said he was gonna do 30 minutes, but he may go longer. And if he goes longer, then I won't talk about this stuff. If he goes 30 minutes, then I'll talk about it. Real simple. All right, so we're gonna catch y'all in 30 minutes. Be ready for our guest, and see you in 30. Get you some water, get you a break, and we will see you later.